And welcome to Great American Ballpark. Game 2 of a 4-game series. Pirates won the opener here last night. Reds trying to get in a winning mode here tonight. Hi again, everybody, alongside Chris Welsh and Jim Day. I'm Tom Brenneman. Thanks for joining us on this Friday night, kicking off your weekend. And not a better way than to have Sonny Gray on the mound tonight. He's been lights out.
Well, he has been lights out, Tom. I mean, his first 3 starts of the year, nobody really managed to do anything against him. He was striking out batters at a record pace. 3-0 in the first 3. Last week, what he did against the Brewers, well, he simply proved that he was human. But he also proved that he is some kind of a bulldog out there, because he battled and still had ended up with 7 strikeouts and gave the team a chance of staying in the ball game.
Well, one guy who's providing some offense for this Cincinnati team, or at least he did last night, that's center fielder Nick Senzel.
You know, when he swings the bat, he's an awfully tough out. He's a guy that combines, power and speed. He can hit the ball in the gap. He can get on the base, steal you a base or so. I mean, they're moving them up in the lineup little by little as the season goes on.
Yeah, they've got Winker moved up. They have Senzel moved up. Tonight will be a rare off night for the struggling Eugenio Suarez. Meanwhile, for the Pirates, they won for just the 4th time in 17 games here last night. Tonight we get a look at Chad Kuhl.
Well, Chad Kuhl missed the entire 2019 season. He was recovering from Tommy John surgery that he had in September the previous year. He's a right-hander who throws hard. He averages about 94, 95 on his fastball. He keeps it kind of simple, throws fastball, slider, curve, not much in the way of change-ups, but Kuhl will come right after you. He's thrown the ball extremely well in his first time out against Detroit. Had a little bit of a finger problem his last time out, but look for him to go right after the Reds hitters here tonight.
All right, when we come back, how about the glove work last night of Shogo Akiyama? Jim Day lets us know that Shogo says no go.
Brought to you by Chevy. Check out their award-winning lineup only at your Tri-State Chevy dealer. And by Skyline Chili. Feeling good, it's Skyline time. Oh, the cutouts. Yes. They got the best seats in the house. And there are many of them. Reds country bringing it strong with the cutouts. All proceeds going to the Reds Community Club. Shogo Akiyama, it's still an adjustment not only to American culture but American baseball. He's used to playing most of his games indoors in Japan. He even said, I'm trying to get used to the sunshine, real grass, etc., and playing left field primarily. Well, yesterday is any indication, the adjustment's going pretty well, because he made some outstanding plays yesterday, including probably the catch of the year so far for the Reds, crashing into the fence in the 5th, bailing Cody Reed out, and then again in the 7th. Got a good jump on this, legged it out, reaches out and makes a beautiful catch. Cody Reed certainly appreciated it.
He hit it, I kind of put my head down for a second because it sounded pretty good off the bat, and the next thing I knew, I look up and he's against the wall making the catch. So I mean, I put my hands over my head and I was shocked for sure, but I'm glad he came down with it.
He's a hell of an outfielder. I think he's got a lot of credentials that speak for that in Japan. And so when he's out there, nothing looks like it gets to him. Nothing seems to phase him, and nothing really speeds up on him. So to see him make plays like that is no surprise to me.
Shogo and the Reds go after the Pirates tonight. Game 2 of a 4-game set. Reds looking for some bounce back against the Buccos. Tom Brenneman, Chris Welsh standing by with all the play-by-play action here on Fox Sports Ohio.
About it with the city. We'll see what Rob Manfred elects to do moving forward. Ultimately, he has the call to not allow fans in any ballpark this season, but a little ways to go on that one. It would be nice we get into September and have some folks show up here at the ballpark.
Yeah, it sure would be. We'll see how that progresses, but that's encouraging to have heard it for sure.
All right, let's take a look at the Pirates starting lineup tonight. Pirates 4 wins, 13 losses, brought to you by Jeff Weiler Automotive. And why would you change anything? And the Pirates aren't, except for center field. Frazier, Newman, and Bell to start. Colin Moran now the DH. Reynolds in left, Polanco in right. Gonzalez down at third. Cole Tucker the only change in center. And Stallings behind the plate. making his 5th start of the year. Won his first 3 starts before hung with a loss against the Brewers last weekend. His right-hander, Sonny Gray.
Sonny Gray making start number 182 of his major league career. He's got a very nice 73-61 win-loss record, earned run average right at 3.5, and I just love watching this guy pitch. I mean, he's such a competitor. He comes right after you. I think that he's the type of pitcher, when he takes the mound, his ball club knows they've got a real good chance of winning. And after the way that they were beaten up last night, I think that's a good thing for this ball club.
All right, so here we go. It'll be Adam Frazier to lead things off. Left-handed batting second baseman, and Sonny Gray delivers down low, ball 1. We're underway. The crew chief is Dan Iasagna. He's working behind the plate. Andy Fletcher at first, Trip Gibson at second, and a minor league call-up, Ben May, the umpire, down at third. Beautiful night for baseball. Yes, a cloudy night. Temperatures very low, humidity very low. Really can't argue about this. Swing and a foul ball on a 2-0 pitch. It goes to 2 balls and a strike. Frazier, you may remember, led off the game yesterday with his 8th career leadoff home run. That ties him with Andrew McCutchen and Bob Bailey for 3rd on the Pirates all-time list. Barry Bonds, a record holder, hit 20 of them. Many forget Bonds came up to the big leagues out of Arizona State University with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and you could tell even then he was going to be one of the all-time greats.
You know, you didn't think he was going to be the home run king, but he was a very sleek, running, great defensive player. You know, good fundamentals and a lot of talent.
Here's a 3-2 and a swing and a miss, and Sonny Gray picks up a strikeout against Adam Frazier to start the ball game. We look at the Reds on defense, presented by Ford. Akiyama Senzel Castellanos, a couple of changes in the infield. A rare off night for Eugenio Suarez. Kyle Farmer down there. Van Meter, another start at second. And the battery of Gray and Tucker Barnhart.
Give Suarez a night off tonight, faces a lefty tomorrow.
Kevin Newman, 1 hit in 5 at-bats last night. And a 2-hopper to Galvis. He'll have to cut it loose, and does in time. Newman can get up that line, and 2 quick outs for Sonny Gray.
Well, they're swinging the bats early against Sonny Gray. It's kind of like facing Luis Castillo. They don't want to see Gray's breaking pitch, so when you get a heater early on, they're going to be swinging at it.
Josh Bell makes his way to the plate. 1 for 5 last night. Pirates had 9 runs and 9 hits the first 2 innings. They were shut out by the Reds bullpen over the final 7 frames on 2 hits. The trio of Cody Reed, Michael Lorenzen, and Lucas Sims, all combining to get the job done. Bell looks at strike 1. Tell you, those are some sweet seats where a couple of the Reds mascots are sitting down that right field line. They put in that bar, you may remember, a couple of years ago, that Budweiser bar out there. And they're sitting right there looking down into the visitors' bullpen. That is a big league setup down there. Fastball in there, a strike, 1-2.
Well, the key to Sonny Gray against left-handers is exactly that pitch. You throw that pitch inside with a fastball, then you top it up with a breaking pitch. Although Sonny's thrown a lot of fastballs here in this first inning. Every time Sonny Gray takes the mound, you know who's watching down there in Tennessee? A lot of Sonny Gray fans, but the Stork dialed in, guaranteed.
Oh, yeah. Grew up just outside of Nashville. At Sonny, still makes his home down there year-round. Did that get a piece of Bell? No, he's just going over to retrieve that pitch in the dirt for the bat boy. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the Pirates slugging first baseman, Josh Bell. An all-star a year ago, 37 home runs, most by a Pirate we mentioned since Brian Giles hit 38 in 2002, was the most ever by a Pirate switch hitter. And they had a really good player who was a switch hitter for a long time named Bobby Bonilla. Our Jimmy John's fresh take. Tonight's Jimmy John's freaky fresh take. Wow. Leads the National League. 68 road runs batted in since the beginning of last year. One more than the home run king and rookie of the year, Pete Alonso. Did he go? They appeal, and no, that'll be ball 4 on a 3-2 breaking ball to Josh Bell. He becomes the game's first base runner.
It's a good at bat by Bell. I mean, he is a good hitter. He came up being more of a contact batting average hitter. He had tremendous breakout with home runs last year, but he got down 0-2 in his count and just tried to lay off a few pitches and ends up taking a base on balls there.
So here's Colin Moran. We mentioned last year he only hit 13 home runs. He already clubbed 6 of them so far this year, including a long one here last night. Had 2 hits, a solo home run, a single, scored another run. He basically flip-flopped with Bell, not in the batting order, but positionally. Last night, Moran the first baseman, Bell the DH. They go the other way tonight. 1-0 on Colin Moran. Fastball right down the middle of strike 1-1. Jam shot pop up into foul ground. Farmer over to get it, and that's all for the Pirates in the opening inning. Shogo, Castellanos, and Votto coming up in a scoreless opening inning. We take a look at their starting lineup presented by Jeff Weiler Automotive. Shogo to lead things off. He'll be in left, followed by Castellanos and Joey Votto. Middle of the order will be Winker in the cleanup spot. Senzel now number 5 with no Suarez in the lineup. Van Meter 6, Galvis, Barnhart, Farmer, the latter third. Chad Kuhl making his second start of the season tonight. Gave up 1 solo home run, struck out 7 in 4 innings. His first start last Friday. Reds come in with a record of 8 up and 11 down. What about the repertoire of one Mr. Kuhl?
Well, he throws hard. He keeps the ball down. Kuhl does. Not a guy that run the fastball up very much. Strikeout pitch is a nice slider. He'll also throw a curveball in there. He was electric that time out that you were talking about against the Tigers. 7 punch outs, 4 innings. I think the thing that impressed a lot of people was that his fastball and changeup off speed separation got a lot better.
Youngest of 5 children is Kuhl. Grew up in the state of Delaware. Was drafted out of the University of Delaware. Swinging a foul ball off out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
The Blue Hens.
Yes. Most famous alum there is Jeff Gowen. Long time.
Well, not if you're a Welsh, because my dad went there.
Then the second best alum. Really? Your dad went there?
Sure
the
did.
Senator. Wasn't that his nickname back in the old days? The Senator.
The Senator, yeah.
He had those long, flowing locks like you have now with the gray hair and all that kind of thing?
He probably think mine was a little too long right now. Always did.
Going to be a tough play here. And that's a nice play right there. Man, is that a good play by the shortstop, Newman.
Well, it takes a shortstop's arm to get Akiyama going down the line right here. He gets out of the box very quickly. Newman's got a backhand and basically just fire it over there as quickly as he can. And a good play at the other end. Bell's able to keep his foot on the bag, completely outstretched.
Castellanos trying to get back on track. Just 4 hits in his last 30 trips to the plate over 7 games after that 12-game hitting streak to open his Cincinnati Reds career. 0-1 to Castellanos. A ball and a strike. Reds still playing, of course, without their big free agent signee, second baseman Mike Moustakas. He's been back with the team and doing some baseball activities, and he's due to come off the injured list on Sunday, and we'll have to wait and see whether or not he will be good to go. Perhaps they wait one more day, we'll see, and then have him there against his former team, the Kansas City Royals, starting on Tuesday night in Kansas City. One ball and 2 strikes. Struck him out. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Umpire having to correct everybody up here. 2-2 is a count. There's strike 3 on a breaking ball. Same pitch down and away from him. First 2 retired by Cool. Defensively brought to you by Ford. Cole Tucker gets his first start after we saw Jared Dyson in center field last night. Same infield. Well, Eric Gonzalez had a good game last night. Couple of doubles, scored a run, knocked in a run. Here's Joey. Otto 12 for 56 to begin this year. On base percentage at .371. 3 home runs and 8 batted in. Had a game-winning double the first game of this homestand against the Royals. Reds have since dropped the next 2. One against KC and then kicked around here last night.
Joey's got to be thinking after those first 2 pitches from Cool. I mean, how much better can those 2 pitches be? One right on the inside part of the plate on the block. The other one just right at the very lower end of the strike zone on the outside.
Well, like Trevor Williams last night, not nearly as many starts, but in the few that Cool has made against the Reds, a total of 5, he has been lights out. 2-1 record, an ERA at 2.51. He surrendered 2 runs or less in 4 of the 5 starts. The only blemish being his lone loss going all the way back to 2017 here in Cincinnati.
The way the Pirates media notes wrote it, he has cooled off the Reds.
Ooh.
Yeah, wish I'd thought of that. Maybe the Reds could cool off Cool.
1-2 delivery. Fooled him badly there, and that's an impressive opening inning for Chad Cool.
His presented by Elk. And Elk Reds bullpen last night covered 7 innings. Scoreless baseball, just 2 hits. First time with 7 shutout innings at Great American Ballpark since 2016. And it was a must-need and worst-case scenario. Probably left in Anthony DeSclafani than he would normally, as their bullpen had a lot of guys that you guys talked about. It were just not available. But David Bell said, hey, I was pretty surprised that they got through it. In fact, he told Matt Davidson early in the game, we may need you as a position player to pitch again. Didn't turn out that way, though.
Well, you got a couple of Vanderbilt guys going at it here. Brian Reynolds, a second-round pick out of Vandy. And, of course, Sonny Gray, also from Vanderbilt. And both of them grew up just outside of Nashville. Reynolds went to the very well-known sports powerhouse of Brentwood High School and attended Vanderbilt on a baseball scholarship. And they really like this guy. He was drafted in 2016, 2 levels that year in the minor leagues. And then by the end of last year, he had wound up 134 games, 16 home runs, 68 knocked in, at 37 doubles, an on-base percentage of .380 and a .314 average. Those are good numbers for a guy getting his first taste of the big leagues. And that strike 3 call. A fastball center cut. And the second strikeout for Sonny Gray.
Just froze Reynolds right here. He's got great movement on that pitch. Gray does. Keeps it down in the zone. That's hard to teach.
Now Gregory Polanco shows bunt. Defense swung around for the left-handed batter. We talk about it all the time. If he just gets that ball on the ground, on the grass, he could crawl to first base.
You know, Tom, you can almost tell the players that know how to bunt and those that don't know how to bunt. When Polanco faked it, and I guess it was a fake the entire way, he's moving while the ball's coming to the plate. His head's moving, his feet are moving. You have to have a solid platform to keep your head still, or you're never going to be able to bunt a pitch that's in the mid-90s.
One ball, 2 strikes on Polanco. He only has 3 hits a whole year, but he has 2 home runs, 7 knocked in, and a double. Dribbler foul. Hit a long home run here last night. Also drew a bases loaded walk. He feels like he's hitting the ball very hard. He continues to fall back on that exit velocity statistic. Higher than it's ever been in his career. Yet 3 hits to show for it. Here comes a 1-2. I was surprised to read some of the comments from Josh Van Meter after the game last night. That he actually goes back after nearly every at bat to find out what his exit velocity is. I mean, maybe in this day and age, it's not a surprise.
Yeah, I don't know if it is or not. I know it's a useful tool, but I'm not exactly sure how in the long run it will be used to make a player better.
And that's on the outside corner again with a fastball. Perfect location.
Boy, he is pinpointing his fastball tonight. Gray is. Normally it's that curveball that we're talking about, but I mean right down there at the hollow of the knees. That is the face of a man on a mission right there.
Now Eric Gonzalez Talked about what a good night he had last night. Originally came up in the Cleveland Indians organization. He got buried as a shortstop with the Indians behind Francisco Lindor. So playing time few and far days between. Came over in a trade in 2018.
Well, Dan Iasonia is hearing it from both dugouts now. I think you heard it from the Reds earlier. The Pirates complained about that call. So you know you're doing a good job as an umpire when both teams are yelling at you.
Yeah. Gray trying to fan the side. 1-2 pitch. The outside corner, so the count runs full to Gonzalez. Reds in the second will have Winker, Senzel, and Van Meter against Kuhl, who set down the side in order in the bottom of the first inning. And here's a payoff pitch. Lined hard into right. That will airmail Castellanos. Gonzalez on his way to second base, and he's in there sliding with a double.
I'll tell you, Castellanos made that awfully close. I mean, he got back on that ball quickly. It went right off the wall. He's got a strong arm now. I mean, this throw was a very good one. He nearly picked the pocket of Gonzalez trying to stretch this thing into two.
That's 3 doubles in 2 games and 1 at bat of this series for Eric Gonzalez. Boy, he's really off to a great start this year. So now runner in scoring position for Cole Tucker. Now, what would your dad think of this guy's hair? That's what I want to know.
He would look at mine and say, well, yours isn't so long.
Some serious hair on Cole Tucker. I saw him bouncing around the dugout before the game. I thought maybe the old Guns N' Roses guitarist Slash had showed up down there.
Now this is the part of the ball game where Sonny Gray really gets tough to hit. Runners in scoring position, he has been very stingy. In fact, he's got the second best batting average against in all the major leagues going back to the start of last year. The only one better is Justin Verlander.
Votto to the bag in time, which will end the inning. A double, a runner left, middle of the second, no score. StatCast powered by Google Cloud.
Had 7 strikeouts his last time out against the Detroit Tigers. Look where they all were. They're all down in the zone. Very few of those are upstairs. So the Reds can look really in one area here against Kuhl, which is down. That's where he likes to live, especially when he gets a couple of strikes on the hitters. I like that little animated chart.
Hottest hitter in the Reds lineup by a long shot is Jesse Winker. 4-game hitting streak, 9 for his last 13. You go back further than that. Over the last 9 games, he's 15 for 26. That's a .577 average. .645 on base percentage. 3 doubles, 3 home runs. 1 ball and 1 strike on DeWink. Swing and a miss. Jesse hitting in that number 4 spot tonight. In the air, left field, hit pretty well, and Winker has done it again. And he is sprinting around those bases tonight. He might set a record. That's a home run in 4 of the last 5 games for Jesse Winker. Man, is he hot.
He is hot, and he gets a fastball. We're going to take a look at the last 2 pitches here of this at bat. This was the high fastball. That's where you like to pitch Winker because he's primarily a low ball hitter. Cool is a low ball pitcher. Next pitch, down in Winker's hot zone.
$18 hits and 50 at bats, and that's after starting the season 1 for 22.
Yeah. I mean, he was having a hard time getting playing time. Anytime there was a left-hander, he was on the bench. Now he's starting against left-handers. I would presume he would be in there tomorrow when the Pirates run out Stephen Brault.
Senzel was in a 1 for 16 slump until last night. And he knocked in as many runs in the game last night as he had driven in all year long. 4 of them. So now 8 total. 3 balls
let him
and no
here on
strikes.
the 3-0 count early in the ball game.
I'd let him swing the bat.
I do
Wouldn't you?
too.
The way he's hitting right now, or at least the way he hit yesterday.
Guaranteed he's getting a fastball. And he is.
And that's a 4-pitch walk to Nick Senzel. And he's very much a base stealing threat. That's a couple of them in 3 attempts the early part of this year.
Yeah, we have to take a look really at what Chad Kuhl has as far as a move to first and how compact he is to home. But Stallings has already thrown out 3 runners. Of course, the better base runner you have at first base, the more likely you get a fastball as the hitter. That's what Van Meter's looking at.
It's a long pause holding that ball, and Senzel clearly creating a distraction for Kuhl.
Great view we had right there. It goes to show you that the pitcher really doesn't see the runner at first base very much. I mean, Senzel was leading off, kind of waving his arms just to kind of get the attention. And it's very hard for a lot of right-handers to see over there.
And now the entire infield going to gather on the mound.
Well, if you're going to get charged for a meeting, you might as well make it a good one. Big committee. About to say, you know, make sure, unless there was, I don't know if there was timeout called or not, but I presume there was. Watch for the hidden ball trick. You never know.
1-0 to Josh Van Meter. Fastball is too low to send a count 2-0. That's 6 in a row out of the zone by Kuhl. Takes a 2-0 fastball for a strike, does Van Meter.
Yeah, Kuhl looks a little bit deliberate. I mean, he lifts his leg up. He's not real slow to the plate. Haven't put the watch on him, but we haven't seen a move to first base yet. That's kind of what you're trying to ferret out. Remember that Kuhl missed the entire season last year, so whatever scouting reports you have on him are basically going back 2 years.
2 balls and a strike. Van Meter, a high fly ball. Polanco appears to have room and does. Senzel tagging up. Here comes a throw by Polanco, and out is a call at second base. The Reds may want to take a look at that. But man, what a throw by Polanco on one hop standing against the wall. That was a laser.
Well, Polanco's looking in right now, says, didn't I get him? Strong throw.
David Bell says, nope, we're not going to take a look.
You know what you did right there? You become very aggressive. You make the team you're playing against make a great play to get you out. I love that kind of aggressiveness. I mean, I don't think that's wasted out at all. I mean, station to station baseball, in low-scoring games, sometimes doesn't work. So you get into a scoring position, guy bloops the ball in there for a base hit, you end up with another run. Blanco's got a gun.
Boy, does he ever. Here's Galvis, 13 of 52. Freddie had another home run last night. He has homered now in back-to-back games. He hit his first home run of the season from the right side, you may remember. A couple of nights ago, and then a home run. Actually, the one last night was his first from the right side. I beg your pardon. Had one from the left side the day before. That was against the southpaw Howard out of the Pirates bullpen last night. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Freddie Galvis, and cool to the plate. And there's strike 3 called. Galvis knew it. But Jesse Winker, a solo home run to left field, giving Cincinnati an early 1-0 lead.
MLB Rally's new predictive game that offers fans the opportunity to pick outcomes and compete for cash prizes. Make your predictions count. Play Quick Pick. No purchase necessary. Got to be 21 to compete. Restrictions do apply. See official rules and enter at MLB.com/QuickPick.
All right, JD. Good to have Jim Day back with us tonight, isn't it, Chris?
Kind of lonely without Jim Day.
Really
In fact,
is.
A lot of people were worried when they didn't see Jim Day at the ballpark, making sure he was okay, that he didn't maybe test positive for something.
Well, I know one thing. Those players, when Jim went down there to do his segment just prior to the first pitch, I was watching him down there, and I mean, whether it was Eugenio Suarez or Kurt Casale or Joey or any of the boys, they were waving up to JD and talking about how much they missed him. It's good stuff. It's tough to log all that road work via the text. 1-1 to Stallings. And a breaking ball in there, a strike. Jim has to sit, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rows back. Jim, is that a mandate there? Is that why the cone is down there to your left, that you can't go any lower than that 10th row? Is that it?
Correct.
Okay.
Only a few sections I can be in and wherever they want me, man. This is a great seat, by the way. A great seat.
You got all your friends down there with you.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of cutouts down here. All good, man. Blessed to be sitting here.
No doubt. No doubt. 2-2 to Stallings. Number of full counts early in this game already by Sonny Gray.
Well, Sonny's not a stranger to full counts. And he's a guy that likes to strike out a lot of hitters. So you get ahead and you start picking away, hoping somebody's going to chase the pitcher's pitch.
Well, he has 3 strikeouts through the first 8 batters, trying to make it an even 4 through the front 9. Payoff pitch, and he will get it.
Yeah, this chasing ball 4 is Stallings, and just looked too good to him.
So here's Frazier. He struck out leading off the ball game after homering to start the game yesterday. You know, there's a lot of talk, Chris, about that start last night by Anthony DeSclafani and Tucker Barnhart coming right out and saying that they felt DeSclafani was tipping his pitches. I mean, the guy hadn't given up a run all year long. There's a liner caught by Van Meter for the second out. In fact, in his first 11 innings, he had only allowed 5 hits and no runs. And last night, he gives up 9 hits and 9 earned runs in 2 innings. You think there's something to that?
Well, if Tucker Barnhart says it, I'm going to go with that because he knows, you know, he knows what's going on with DeSclafani. But I can tell from watching on our telecast last night that DeSclafani's command wasn't there. His breaking ball was rolling up there. There was no bite to it at all. And he just had an off night. So I think if they saw something, you know, they took advantage of it. But I don't think that that's ever, you know, the sole reason for you getting knocked around. In fact, I think that if Sonny Gray told you what was coming, and Trevor Bauer has done that. Zach Greinke did it the other night. You know, if you make your locations and you execute your pitches, they're still going to have a hard time hitting you.
Well, Sonny ahead of Newman at no balls and 2 strikes. The entire positional group for the Reds all made at least 3 or 4 steps towards the dugout.
It's like somebody turned on the gravity machine.
Watch this. Look at that. You're right. Senzel to his right, calling off the left fielder Akiyama, and a 1-2-3 inning. First of the night for Sonny. Reds lead 1-0. State of Delaware. It's not normally a state you think of producing a lot of Major League Baseball players. But look at some of the names, including Delino DeShields, Paul Goldschmidt, a good one. Wait a minute now, we're going back to that list because I'm sitting next to one of them. Chris Welsh.
It's a short list because it's a small state.
Yes, it is. And can get rather chilly up there, right?
Well, you know.
Not terrible.
East Coast, Middle East Coast, sure. You know, they don't call it the beach over there. They call it the shore.
The shore, yeah. And what town in Delaware were you born?
I was born in Wilmington.
Wilmington. You ever go back there at all? I mean, you have any family back there?
I had family back there for a while. They're all gone now, but my dad was from there. And
what's your favorite beach back there?
Well, I can't remember.
The ones
we moved to Cincinnati when I was 6.
I know, but you can remember.
So I couldn't drive to the beach.
No, but if you've been back since, I'm sure you've been to the beach, right? I mean,
I've not been back to their beaches. You know, you just go to the shore. I can't tell you what the name of the beach would be.
All right, just call it shore.
Yeah, just go to the shore.
Sure. 2-2 on Tucker Barnhart. Left field line in the corner. Sliding attempt down there.
Little slice coming off the bat of a left-hander, just going to continue. That's a pretty good effort down there by Brian Reynolds.
Barnhart hit a home run his final time up last night, and the weight of the world, basically, he described, it felt like, lifted off his shoulders after what had been a long drought without a single base hit. He went around, and Barnhart is out of there on strikes. 4th in the game already by Kuhl.
Yeah, Kuhl is making some really good pitches. In fact, he reminds me a little bit with his fastball, the way he moves it in and out. Is the way the Sonny Gray's throwing tonight. That ball looked like it had a little cut action on it, meant to be thrown inside to a left-hander and stay right there.
Here's Kyle Farmer. short right will fall in a hit for Farmer. His 7th hit of this season. He's been a nice asset for this club. You can play him just about anywhere you ask.
You know, you put the bat on the ball, and I think Farmer understands that. He's very versatile defensively. He plays good enough defense that he's the backup shortstop. But it's nice to have a player like Farmer. Occasional power. Good character in the clubhouse. Just a good fit on this team. I still think the league is still trying to figure out the best way to go about Shogo Akiyama, and it could be that there is just no one way to do it. First pitch breaking ball right there. Haven't seen a whole bunch of those from Cool. Now the slider.
Runner going, pitch taken, throw to second, and able to beat it down there is Farmer.
You know, he runs better than you expect. I don't know if he's a tick above average or not, but he got a huge lead and a mammoth jump. I mean, as soon as Cool lifted his leg, and he never really even looked over there for Farmer. Well done. Strong throw by Stallings. I don't know about you, Tom. I like the stolen base. I like games in which that is part of the strategy of the game. But so many pitchers now are pushing that balk envelope to the point where they're shimmering and shaking their leg and moving around, that hitters or runners at first base or second just have a hard time getting a lead because you don't know when the guy's really coming to a stop. I think that would be easily remedied by baseball.
We'll cross up badly there. And on to third goes Farmer. Well, it's got to be terrifying for a catcher. I mean, I know you have all that garb on, but there are a lot of open, vulnerable spots.
Well, remember, you got a man on second base for now for the first time. So somebody didn't realize the key, and it was probably the pitcher.
Well, it goes naturally as a pass ball because it never hit the dirt. It was basically thrown right off the outside corner of the plate, but tough duty for Stallings. Infield in, 3 balls and a strike. Shogo started 2, laid off.
Cool going for the strikeout. Shogo going for something into the outfield.
3-2. Got him swinging, and that's a big strikeout for Cool. Already his 5th of the game. The infield will back up as Castellanos comes to the plate.
Back-to-back sliders right here at the very top of the zone. You don't see that happen very often. I think Stallings wanted that ball down and in, and Cool got away with one.
So now Castellanos, he struck out swinging his first time up. Hit hard, but right at the shortstop, playing in the hole, and the inning is over. A hitter, runner left. We played 3, and the Reds lead the Pirates 1-0.
Network. Mookie Betts last night, well, as they say, he had himself a night. Not 1, not 2, 3 home runs. It's his 6th 3-home run game of his career. It's an MLB record. At least he ties it. Johnny Mize and Sammy Sosa also on that list. 6 of them. 3 long ones in one game.
He got moved to a leadoff spot, didn't he?
He was scuffling at the very beginning of the year, but that has really changed in a hurry for Mookie Betts. Brand new league, brand new team. The Dodgers fractionally behind, percentage points behind the Rockies for the top spot in the National League West. Colorado at 12-6. The Dodgers at 13-7. 1 ball, 1 strike on Josh Bell. Reds lead 1-0. Smash foul. Got a nice note, Chris, from John Brannon, head basketball coach at UC. He says he is dialed into us out on his deck every single night.
Is that right?
Said he's
I've
really
always
been
liked that
enjoying the
guy.
game. Oh, no doubt. Outstanding coach.
Got a good attitude.
No question.
You better come to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's the one thing about those last 3 UC coaches. You better come to play. Hugs. I know Kennedy was there for a short while, but Hugs, and then, of course, Mick Cronin, and now John coming over from Northern Kentucky, where he led them to the NCAA tournament.
They deliver the message in a little different ways.
They do.
Nobody quite like Hugs. You know.
I was working out today in my West Virginia Hoops T-shirt. Had a couple people looking at me. What's that all about? I'm like, hey, I was doing the UC games when Hugs was around. Still root for the guy.
Do you have a yellow leisure suit to go with it?
No, but if he asked me to get one, I'd get it. I love Hugs.
He's got a fancy one.
3-2 to Bell. Hooked into right. 1 out. It's a shame that Coach Brannon couldn't have some of those kids back after the season was canceled, because that was a really good group, including Cumberland, and it was a nice team. One out, nobody on. Here's Moran. Only 1 hit so far against Sonny Gray through the front 3 1/3 innings, and that was a double over the head of Castellanos in right field off the bat of Eric Gonzalez with 2 outs in the 2nd inning. Moran is going to make sure he's completely dialed in between every single pitch. He wasn't dialed in for that pitch. No. He might have to walk about 3 or 4 feet out now. Fix both batting gloves.
See, that's what I mean by, Sonny Gray can tell Colin Moran that breaking pitch is coming. And chances are you may get a little better swing, but you're not going to do anything with that pitch.
0-2 on Colin Moran. And that's strike 3 called. He has something to say to the home plate umpire.
I'll tell you, Sonny Gray's control tonight is uncanny. I mean, was it caught a little low at the very end? Yeah, but I mean, went across the zone close enough to the hollow of those knees. He's going back up there right now. Take a look at the video.
Well, he won't take a look at his exit velo. There's a swing and a miss by Brian Reynolds.
If he'd have said the right words to Dan Iasanya, that exit velo would have shown up.
You're right. Good point. This ball in the air to deep right center field. Senzel giving chase, and this game is tied. This guy's a good-looking player.
He's got a really quick swing. I saw in the first time up when he did strike out on a fastball, but he fouled one off. The first strike that he swung, he showed me he's got a really quick bat. Switch hitter gets the ball up in the zone. And that's a pretty nice hit right there. Vandy versus Vandy.
Yeah.
No stride look.
His first home run of the year. Had 3 doubles and a triple, but that's his first long one. So 1-1 game. Good pitcher's duel tonight between Gray and Cool, and now Polanco. He went around, strike one.
You know, Gray likes to pitch inside to left-handers, but, you know, as you learn the league and you learn the players, there are some that you have to be careful because that's their zone. And I'll tell you that I think that Brian Reynolds is one of those guys that maybe ought to go down that safe spot, down and away until he proves that he can hit that pitch.
Breaking ball and a dandy there. He was ready for that heater. And now a quick message from La Rosas.
Every game this year, 11 strikeouts means a $1,000 donation to the Reds Community Fund.
Oh, and 2 on Polanco. You know, we were talking earlier about the St. Louis Cardinals and how they're finally going to play tomorrow for the first time since July the 29th. Can you believe that? Here we are on August the 14th. They've only played 5 games. They're going to play doubleheaders each of the next 2 days. Swing and a miss. We'll get back to this in a minute because you don't believe the Cardinals schedule for the next 5 days.
Now the players decided to get involved with the cutouts. You are looking at the family of some players, most notably Tucker Barnhart, Moustakas, Gray. Farmer bought one for his dog in classic Kyle Farmer fashion. They've got ones from Suarez coming and Antone and others. Tucker Barnhart is the first one to start it. He basically said, hey, listen, the whole team's in on this. If we can't, we normally, when we do something good, we'll point up at our families. And if they can't be here, well, we'll just point up at our fake families, his words. So the families are here in cutout form.
Nice. It's a good idea. And helping the Reds Community Fund, as you said, to boot. Quickly 0-2 on Votto, who struck out his first time up. Joey to be followed by Winker and then Senzel. 1-1 game. Each team with a run, a solo home run, and each team with 2 base hits. Cool wondering where in the world that missed. He is some kind of bent out of shape about that call. Look at him. Shaking his head, looking skyward.
I don't know how either pitcher can be angry with Dan Iosonia's strike zone tonight.
That's a bullet off the bat of Votto into right center, and that'll have Cool fuming even more because he thought he had him struck out. Double by Joey. Now, why don't you think they should be?
I think he's been calling a lot of marginal pitches strikes rather than marginal pitches balls.
Don't sell that idea to Cool.
Well,
I mean, that pitch looked like it was right on the inside corner to Joey.
Well, you're right about Cool being a little bit heated after giving up that double, thinking you got somebody struck out, and he comes back and gets a leadoff double. I'm not an expert at lip reading,
I am.
But, well, let me know after the game what he said.
It's one of the great words of all time.
Which you used to describe my performance many times.
Here's Jesse Winker. He homered to left field his first time up. All right, Reds, after the Pirates tie it on the Reynolds home run in the top of this inning, trying to get right back in front after a 2-base hit from Votto. Winker was 1 for 22 going back to the 3rd of August. Not a single extra base hit. 1 for 22. Since then, 16 for 27. That's a .593 batting average. And talk about extra base hits, 3 doubles and 4 home runs.
I mean, with the swings that he has had on fastballs, and I know that the Pirates have gone a lot of video scouting, you know, at this point in the season. Well, this is why you don't see him getting any breaking or any fastballs here. Cole has just got a base open at first. You don't want to walk a guy with nobody out, but I mean, Winker's seeing the ball so big right now. Cole's not sure where in the strike zone he can throw it, or Winker's not going to hit a line drive somewhere.
Two balls and a strike on Winker. Cool to check of Votto. And in the air to right field, and DeWink is on fire. I tell you what, I don't know if I've seen a guy this hot in a long, long time. He is absolutely blistering everything off that bat.
I mean, totally locked in right now. I mean, this is a breaking ball that just didn't break at all. The old cement mixer right down Broadway. And you get a guy who's sizzling as Winker is. You can kiss it goodbye.
Cool knew it right away. Not even debatable. Jesse Winker. Oh, my. I believe, we'll need to double check that. I believe that's the first multi-homer game of his career. Oh, okay, it is. Good. Well, he keeps going like he's going right now. There'll be more where that came from. Goodness gracious. This guy was 1 for 22 less than 2 weeks ago. And now he's hitting over 350 on the year. There's a little pop-up coming in hard as Polanco. Tall, long, covers a lot of ground out there. 1 out. You know, we're starting to talk about the St. Louis Cardinals, right? They've not played since July the 29th. They will play a doubleheader tomorrow against the Chicago White Sox. Then they'll play a single game Sunday against the White Sox. They are being asked, every player, to drive their own car to Chicago for that series. Pitcher covering here, and that's a nice throw with a pitcher on the run made by Frazier. Because obviously they want to keep these guys separated from one another. And the reason they're driving and asking them to drive is because they then go from playing on the south side of town to the Chicago Cubs. So they'll play a doubleheader against the Cubs on Monday, a single game on Tuesday, and we'll play a doubleheader again against the Cubs at Wrigley Field on Wednesday. So in those 5 games, and they're going to be alternating who's the home team and who's the road team, because the way they're going to play this, apparently, that was one of those situations where this year the Cardinals were supposed to play the Cubs 7 times in Chicago, 3 times in St. Louis. They're now going to play all 10 games in Chicago.
They've had 19 games postponed.
Galvis a fly ball to center. Inning over. But as soon as the Pirates tie it, guess what? A double by Joey, and then you know who was next. Jesse Winker. First career multi-homer game, and we're only in the 4th inning. The Reds Rookies Baby Club. Every membership comes with a diaper, clutch, plus your choice of an organic cotton blanket or a Tervis sippy cup, plus members only experiences and more. Sign up today at reds.com/fan clubs. Swing and a miss by Eric Gonzalez. He has one of the 2 hits tonight against Sonny Gray.
You get down here to the bottom of this order right here. Sonny could use, he's had some easy innings, like the 3rd where he had a 3-batter inning. Last inning had 4 batters, including a home run. But you're down the bottom of the order. Make it a nice, efficient inning. Buy yourself one more inning in this ball game towards the end by controlling the bottom of the order here.
Here's a 1-2 on Gonzalez. Breaking ball. Gray is the 3rd Reds pitcher going all the way back to 1901 to strike out 6 or more batters in each of his first 5 games of the season. Castillo did it last year. Noodles Hahn going all the way back to 1901. And he also has a streak going back to last year of 9 straight games with 6 or more strikeouts. Mario Soto, the only Red ever with a longer streak, twice going 12 games. Once in 82, another time in 83. (3-2) on Gonzalez. There's another strikeout. Make it 7 for Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray's 42nd strikeout of this year. It's a Reds record through the first 5 appearances of a season. Now Trevor Bauer will have a chance to break that tomorrow night. Actually, tomorrow is Bauer. I forgot it's only his 4th start of the year. They backed him up there a couple of days. Gray's actually now 2 starts ahead of Bauer by getting the ball here tonight. But Bauer will have a legitimate chance. By the time he hits 5 starts, he should blow right by Gray. Bauer already in 19 1/3 innings with 32 strikeouts spanning 3 starts. 1-2 pitch. That stood up Cole Tucker.
Yeah. Interesting story about this young man. He was a #1 draft pick by the Pittsburgh Pirates out of a high school down in the Phoenix area. Made his debut at age 22, and there's no room at shortstop now. He was going to be the shortstop at AAA all year long, if there was AAA this year.
Shot into left center field, a base hit. Senzel over to cut it off. He'll hold him to a 1-out single.
So they've converted him into an outfielder. They're letting him play a little center field. His brother Carson Tucker was the #1 pick by the Cleveland Indians this year out of Mountain Point High School. That's down the Tempe area. In fact, the school that Tucker went to, Mountain Point, is also the same school that Reds assistant hitting coach Joe Mather went to school there.
Those are all such enormous high schools in and around Greater Phoenix, the public schools. You don't have any schools out there, at least not very many, let's put it that way, like we have here in Cincinnati, where, you know, you'll find a number of high schools in this area, and I don't mean private schools, I mean public schools, where, you know, you'll have 115, 120, 130 kids in a graduating class. Now, we've got some monsters too, but just about all of them are monsters out in the Greater Phoenix area.
C.J. Crone, another player. We just saw him with the Detroit Tigers. He went to that same school as Tucker did. In fact, his father, Cole Tucker's father, was a tremendous high school baseball player and a minor league infielder, I think, for the Cardinals back in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. And he is now in the Florida High School Hall of Fame, Baseball Hall of Fame. He's got a couple of kids who were #1 draft picks.
It's not bad. Strike 3 called to Stallings. And even he's back there barking at the home plate umpire. He's got to squat down in front of him here in a minute. Well, I'm sure Stallings is saying they're not so much for him, but he's saying, where was that pitch to Votto?
I think he said, no way, no way, we're going to talk about this in a few minutes.
Now Adam Frazier for the 3rd time in the game. He's 0 for 2, has struck out swinging and lined out to Van Meter. To Frazier with Tucker over at first base. Breaking ball is low and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Reds 3, Pirates 1. Top of the 5th inning. Right to the 3rd baseman, playing basically the shortstop position. That's familiar turf for Kyle Farmer. 1 hit, 1 left. Reds lead by 2.
Well, he snapped an 0 for 22 with a home run, and you better believe it was a weight off of his shoulders.
There's like day savers, and they're like Titanic lifeboat savers, and that was like a Titanic lifeboat for me.
I would say that's the proverbial monkey off of his back.
No kid. Tucker struck out his first time up tonight. Reds 3, Pirates 1. Nice to have you with us on this Friday night from Great American Ballpark. And Barnhart pops it up into short left center field. Cole Tucker, the one-time shortstop, now center fielder, able to glove it. Left-hander Turley cranking it up down there in the Pittsburgh bullpen. Cool pitching into the 5th inning here tonight. Faces Farmer, who singled, stole a base. Went to 3rd on a pass ball. That was a cross-up, you may remember. And that all came with 1 out in the inning, but then Cool able to strike out Akiyama and got Castellanos on a hard ground ball to short. Cubbies and the Brewers just underway. Chicago 13-3. After winning the opening game of that series last night. Yu Darvish pitching deep into that game with a no-hitter. Broken up eventually on a home run, but a Chicago win nonetheless. Reds are percentage points ahead of the Brewers for second place in the National League Central, despite 8 wins against 11 losses. And as many of you know by now, with a new expanded format, that would be good enough right now to get the Reds into playoffs. The first and second place teams from each of the 3 divisions are in the playoffs. That gets you to 6, swing and a miss. And then the next 2 best records in the league go to the playoffs.
So 16 out of the National League and 16 out of the American League, right?
8 and 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, 16 are going in.
And the way that works right now, you'd have the Marlins, believe it or not, the Cubbies, and the Rockies. The second place teams, you would have Atlanta, the Reds, and the Dodgers. And then the next 2 best records be San Diego and the New York Mets, fractionally better than Arizona.
I don't remember Shogo Akiyama doing that kind of that backstretch that Jesse Winker does.
But before the ball gets there, as he's setting up in the batter's box, you know, you kind of arch your back a little bit. I mean, he did that a couple of times here, maybe just thinking, hey, if I do that like Winker.
Whatever Winker's doing, I'd be doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever he's eating, I'd eat it. Whatever he's walking around in the clubhouse, it would wear the same thing. Whatever he's driving, I'd go get that car. 2-2. That'll make you bend your back a little bit. 95 inside.
Cool looking for a 1-2-3 inning. The only one he has had tonight was the first.
Popped up. This will be a 1-2-3 inning for Cool. We're off to the 6th, and the Reds still with a 2-run lead. Sonny Gray off to another good start here tonight. Opens up the 6th inning with a 3-1 lead. He's given up 1 run, 3 base hits. Fanned 7 and walked only 1 batter. That was the 3rd batter of the night. Part of the order here, Newman, Bell, and Moran. 2 balls and no strikes. Too low. 3-1 to Newman. Base hit by a diving Galvis.
Well, they finally got the full. Newman did. That was the 8th full count that Sonny Gray has had tonight. Comes with a fastball, and Newman finds a little hole on a bouncing liner. Hit it hard, but on the ground.
That was the 8th full count to a batter in the game tonight. And that's why Gray here in the 6th inning, first batter in the 6th inning, is already sitting on 60 pitches on the night.
90.
I got 90, my bad. Here's Bell, represents a tying run here in the top of the 6th inning. 91st pitch coming from Gray momentarily. Nice pickup. Sliding Van Meter to his left. On to second goes Newman, 1 out in the inning. That's a big play.
It's a really big play. It was hit very hard by Josh Bell, and make sure you got it. Botto gets back to the bag, and I think a little decoy there at the other end to make sure that Newman didn't read that as a play that it was. Ended up sliding into second base, and so he stays at second.
Tucker out for a very short visit with Sonny Gray before he goes to work on Colin Moran. Moran is fouled out to the third baseman Farmer, and then Sonny struck him out looking in the 4th. A few bodies beginning to move around a little bit out in that Cincinnati bullpen. Doesn't look like anybody's actually throwing yet. Of course, we can't see both pitchers' mounds out there. We can see one of them. And I guess lightly tossing now behind the Starfire sign, which we can't see it, is Nate Jones.
Boy, if you don't believe the hitters guess, that swing by Colin Moran just tells you that he was swinging no matter what. He was guessing fastball, and he was swinging no matter what.
Wow. That was granted timeout very late.
Well, we'll take a look at it in real speed, and you can see, Colin Moran putting his hand and saying at the same time, timeout. Umpires will usually give timeout as long as the pitcher's not moving. And sometimes it seems like it's really late, but just the timing of it. He never does seem like he's in a hurry to get back in the batter's box. Been watching some Sean Casey video. Oh, man. That is a pitch. If you could teach a right-handed pitcher any pitch, that would not be a bad one to have.
Yeah.
I mean, to come right in under the elbows of a left-hander right there. Now, you throw him a curveball in the inner part of the plate, and he's got no choice but to hack at it.
Mm-hmm. Two balls and 2 strikes on Moran. It's a 2-run ball game, and Moran we brought up last night. He's already hit 6 home runs this young season, including last night. Good play by Van Meter. Once again, it's not an easy ball to handle. On to third base goes Newman, 2 outs in the inning. And now a quick message once more from La Rosa's.
Every game this year, 11 strikeouts means a $1,000 donation to the Reds Community Fund.
Well, 2 really hard hit balls in this inning. 3 actually, including the base hit by Newman to get it going. But if you're wondering why batting averages are down, I mean, all you have to do is look at this inning right here and the way the shift has basically killed left-handed hitters. You're placing out infielders in outfield positions, and you're throwing left-handed hitters way more breaking balls than ever before. I mean, Van Meter was even deeper than that when he picked up that ball off of Moran, and that ball was hit very hard.
Reynolds homered his last time up. Long home run to right center field. And Sonny jumps ahead of him at 0-2. Trying to finish off the Pirates here in the top of the 6th inning is Sonny Gray. And the 0-2 to Reynolds. That's all she wrote.
Yeah, he tried calling time and it was too late.
Gray has punched out 9 through 6, 99 pitches. Do we see him in the 7th? Anniversary of the founding of the Negro Leagues, the Reds Hall of Fame and Museum is proud to showcase the shades of greatness, an exhibit presented by Dinsmore. For details, visit redsmuseum.org. Well, in between innings, we see this frequently where David Bell will come over, talk to his starting pitcher. Clearly, Sonny Gray is saying, you know, I'm good. Looks like he's staying in there, Chris.
It sure does look like it. She still has that game face on. That is unmistakable.
Well, the night is over for Cool. He pitched a pretty good game.
He did pitch well. Good
Threw the ball very well. Did not walk a batter. Struck out 6. Allowed 4 hits, including 2 for home runs. Solo blast by Winker in the 2nd. 2-run home run by Winker in the 4th. 3 runs in 5 innings of work. And now Nick Turley, a left-hander, takes over.
He's 30 years old, Turley is, and he was in the big leagues, I guess a little bit back in 2017, but he's not been in organized baseball, affiliated ball that is, since 2017. He was suspended and he had elbow injuries, but he was invited to spring training and impressed enough in summer camp that he ended up being on this 30-man roster.
Castellanos, Votto, then Jesse Winker against Turley. So righty, lefty, lefty coming up. Indians beating up on the Tigers tonight, 8-3. Miami, 4-2 leaders over Atlanta. Cubs and the Brewers scoreless in the 3rd at Wrigley Field. 2-1 on Castellanos. Still 2-2. Struck him out on a breaking ball. Boy, Castellanos is mired in a rough slump right now.
Pretty good breaking ball that Turley fires up there, though. But when Castellanos is seeing it big, you don't see him take that big of a swing.
4 hits in his last 33 at bats. Votto, 1 of 2, struck out swinging in the first inning. It looked like he was struck out in the 4th inning.
I think Votto thought that ball was going to hit him. I mean, really hit him. He turned completely his back to the pitcher's mound. Take another look at this curveball. That was almost a strike. Having never seen this pitcher before, you can see why he was bailing out.
Sure. No one getting loose in the Cincinnati bullpen. Jones is the only one with his jacket off down there. He was up just, lightly throwing. We showed you the last half inning. Pretty evident by that conversation we had for you in the dugout between David Bell and Sonny Gray that Sonny is going out there for the 7th. Three-1 to Votto. They're now 3-2.
Pretty good combination of pitches, really, for Turley. I mean, this is a pickup by the Pittsburgh Pirates. They weren't sure what they were going to get, but he's got a big roundhouse curveball and 95 heat to back it up.
Payoff pitch coming to Joey. Throwing the fastball and foul back out of play. Speaking of left-hander relievers, the Reds made a roster move before the game today. So, I meant to say relievers. Tyler Thornburg, the Reds brought him over the winter. He was brought up from the alternate training site at Prasco. And Christian Colon was designated for assignment. We certainly wish Christian nothing but the very, very best. Strike 3 called this time on Votto. Back-to-back strikeouts. And here comes Jesse Winker. What a night for him. First time in his big league career he's hit 2 home runs in a single game. Solo shot to left field in the 2nd inning. And then a 1-1 game broke the tie with a blast to right in the 4th. Swing and a miss. Nothing on 2 to Winker. Now Jesse going to step out of the box for a minute. So you're right about this Turley. I mean, I'm not going to say the scrap heap, but like you said, they weren't sure what they were getting. This guy's throwing the ball well, at least in this inning.
Well, he's been bouncing around a number of different organizations. Originally signed with the Yankees, went to the Giants, the White Sox, the Red Sox. Ended up playing in the Atlantic League for the Somerset Patriots. Got picked up by the Twins, and that's where he was in the big leagues for 2017. A little cup of coffee. And the Pirates picked him up from there.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Got suspended for some PED use. Hurt his elbow. Has not been an affiliated ball since, but he showed up in spring training this year ready to go.
Reds 3, Pirates 1. Bottom of the 6th inning. 2 outs, nobody on. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the man of the night, Jesse Winker. Full count.
Well, you're seeing the ball really good when you lay off that pitch.
And he draws a walk. How about that? After falling behind in the count, a couple of strikes. And Winker aboard for the 3rd straight time. Inning continues for the center fielder Nick Senzel, who's walked and popped up to Polanco in right field. To Nick Senzel, and a bouncing ball to the second baseman, and that's all for the Redlegs in the 6th. Off to the 7th, Sonny Gray headed back to the mound with a 3-1 lead. On Fox Sports Ohio, brought to you by Kroger. It's easy to place your order online when you pick it up at the store. Try it today at Kroger.com, and by Ford, visit buyfordnow.com. All right, here you go. It's a good one. 4 players whose last name begins with the letter C have won 5 or more career Gold Gloves. Who are they? I should have gotten 2. I only got 1. I'm embarrassed I didn't get 2. And the other 2, I could be here from now till the end of time and would have never happened.
Yeah. So you must
give
know
you a little
the
while to think about it. What's that?
You must know the answers.
Well, I mean, I on some of these we have it, some of them we don't. But I saw it off the scoreboard before I was just given our sheet in here. And, you know, one of them came to mind right away. And Reds fans, you'll probably have some luck there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Sonny Gray on the hill with a 3-1 lead. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Gray just threw his 101st pitch of the night. He's only had 1 perfect inning, and this ball is off the end of the bat. Senzel will come in to get it, and that's out number 1. His only 1-2-3 inning was in the 3rd. He allowed a walk in the 1st, 2-out double in the second. Solo home run to Reynolds in the fourth. A single in the fifth with 1 out. And a leadoff single to Newman in the 6th inning.
Yeah, that double by Gonzalez in the second, the only time the Pirates, other than a home run ball, have had a runner in scoring position, right?
Yep. That's right.
Of course, in this ball game, with all the runs accounted for by home runs, you're in scoring position when you're standing in the batter's box.
Well, that is baseball 2020. 0-1 pitch. Wow. Now, as a Cincinnati Red, the most pitches Sonny Gray has ever had in a game, again, as a Red. 111. Twice. But again, you know, there are different ways to get to 111. And we talk about that frequently. There's 111 where you're in trouble and you're on the ropes seemingly every inning. That has not been the story for Gray tonight, even though he only has 1 perfect inning. And there's another strikeout, his 10th of the game. He has not pitched with much pressure here tonight, or under a lot of pressure. Let's put it that way.
Well, I think you're always under pressure in this ballpark, number one. But you're right about, you know, not having to pitch out of the stretch position with runners on the move and guys leading off third base and so on. But he has been I just have been very impressed by his command. I mean, his competitive nature is always there. But not always do you have that command when you get out there. I mean, that's what happened with DeSclafani. We've seen it happen with Luis Castillo, where it's just a little bit off. Tonight, he has been on.
Well, I mean, Gray even admitted that he was a lot off that last start when he lost for the first time this year. You know, David gave him a chance to go back out there in the 6th inning. And, you know, it didn't work out. And that's to nobody's fault. I think everybody who watched that game felt like Gray should have been given the chance to go back out. He was given that chance. One and one to Cole Tucker, who singled to center his last time up.
Yeah, the defense on Tucker now has moved exactly to the spot where he hit that line drive last time up.
2 balls and a strike to Tucker. And a rocket that just ate up Votto over at first base. That's a second hit for Cole Tucker. So a man aboard, and the catcher Stallings coming up.
I'll tell you, with the kind of night that Tucker's had tonight, Jared Dyson may not get as much playing time as he probably anticipated coming in here signing a 1-year deal.
Well, after that single, is David Bell coming to get Sonny Gray?
He has struck out Jacob Stallings twice, and he's going to the pen.
To bring in Nate Jones. Skyline Chili call to the bullpen. What an effort by Sonny Gray again here tonight. This guy, man, has he been something. My, oh my. With 10 or more strikeouts, allowing 1 walk or fewer, and he's pacing up and down that dugout. Talking with his old Vanderbilt buddy, Kurt Casale. Boy, he's like a caged lion down there, isn't he? He still wants to be out there on the mound, pretty safe to say, but he's lifted in favor of Nate Jones and Sonny Gray. 6 2/3, 5 hits, so tack on another one of that major league all-time streak. of allowing 6 hits or fewer. It now stands at 38. Nate Jones in the game. Gray threw 110 pitches, 1 short of his Reds career high. Not all-time career high. Gray had just worn out Stallings twice. Struck him out swinging, struck him out looking. And of course, Stallings is a number 9 hitter in the lineup.
Yeah, he's a very good defensive player. Stallings is catcher, good throw and catch guy, but I mean, he's a strong guy. He's got some home run power. Does not have a home run yet this year, but Gray wore him out with a combination of breaking pitches, then blew him away on fastballs.
There's a laser into left field, and again, and it's Shogo. He did it twice last night and does it again tonight. And that one could prove to be a game saver by Shogo Akiyama. The last 2 nights, he has been spectacular in left field. On the game summary, it's been the Winker Gray show here tonight. Jesse, his first career 2-homer game. Solo shot in the second, 2-run shot to break a 1-1 tie in the fourth, and then Chris again. The magic of Sonny Gray. Six and 2/3, 5 hits, 1 run, 10 punch outs, only 1 walk. Third pitcher used now by the Pirates. And wearing number 46 is Chris Stratton in their strike 1.
Yeah, Stratton, former San Francisco Giant. In fact, he was a starter there just a couple of years ago.
Turley looked good in his only inning. Did not allow a hit, walked the batter, struck out 2. Josh Van Meter is 0 for 2. Just missed clubbing one out of here to right field in the second inning, and strangely enough, it turned into a double play when Senzel tried to tag up, go first to second. Polanco threw a laser, 1 hopper to gun him down, and then Van Meter a ground ball to the second baseman his last time up. Straight up in the air, down the right field line and out of play. Jim Day still hanging out down there.
Yes, sir.
You doing all right?
Couldn't be better.
Getting worried about you.
No, it couldn't be better.
I mean, you know, you go hang out with the guys in the studio for a couple days, and now you've pretty much ignored us.
No, I think it's the other way around.
No. 0-2 the count. That would never happen. And a base hit into right center field by Van Meter. He can run now. He's coming to second, and he will get in there sliding with a double. That guy can move.
Well, you've said it before, Tom. He's got a real pretty swing, and he waits on this breaking ball. The Stratton kind of hangs up there thigh high. Gets out of the box quickly and never even stops. He's figuring that if the right fielder catches that ball in the gap, I mean, it's going to be a tough throw for him, a left-handed thrower, to be able to come up with a good throw to second base. So he takes advantage of it and puts himself in scoring position. That's just a good, hard-nosed, good effort play.
All right, now Galvis got to get this run in. That'd be a big run, get a 3-run lead for this bullpen to cover the final 6 outs of this game.
Well, I think the first step of that, it would be getting that run over to third base. Galvis thought about bunting. I think if he bunted to the first base side, I don't know whether he will now with one strike on him. Probably not. Very unlikely Josh Bell is going to throw the ball to third.
Freddie, a ground ball, going to advance a runner, and the swipe tag. No. That'll be an infield hit for Freddie Galvis. That was a tough play having to go to his right for Newman. He's made a couple of nice plays already tonight. But double your fun there for Galvis. You advance a runner and get a hit.
They had to get rid of it quickly. Kind of jumps and throws at the same time, and almost a tag, but Galvis within the baseline or the base pass is able to avoid the sweep tag. A runner has 3 feet on either side of his base path.
Big deep breath now for Tucker Barnhart. He knows this is a golden chance to plate what would be a 4th run in this game. Timeout going to be called. The 8th inning in this one belongs to Nate Jones. There's no one getting loose in the Cincinnati bullpen. He's trying to bridge the gap to Raisel Iglesias tonight. That's quite a block by Stallings. That's textbook. He sat down on that thing and blocked it with his chest. Actually, with a glove and a thigh. All right, let's answer that scoreboard stumper. Now, the one I'm thinking was Concepcion, right? Well, Clemente only won 12 of them. But I would have never gotten Cesar Cedeno or Eric Chavez. Chavez, longtime Oakland Athletics standout, among other teams, but primarily with the A's. Cedeno spent some time in Cincinnati.
I would have guessed Gary Carter. I don't know if he, I have to look it up, but I thought he was pretty good defensive.
That would have been a good guess. That's a really good guess.
Not good enough.
Well, obviously, but I mean, that would have been a good one. I'd have been with you.
He had 3 Gold Gloves, okay. Carter did.
Well, what a player he was.
Yeah.
Man. I know he had a lot of Hollywood in him. I believe he was an L.A. guy, but, man, what a player. 1-0 the count to Barnhart. One hop diving play. They get one, and Barnhart safe at first base. Scoring is Van Meter. So a fielder's choice RBI for Tucker, and the Reds make it a 4-1 game.
Frazier outthought himself on that one. The second baseman for the Pirates had an easy double play here. And, you know, credit Galvis right here. He's going to stop and he's going to go back. And really what you could have done if you were the second baseman Frazier is you throw the batter runner out at first base, and then you get Galvis in the rundown because the runner from third's already scored. But I think that he just got confused by the whole thing, and they weren't able to turn 2. So the Reds pick up a run and only have 1 out.
Here's Kyle Farmer. He is singled and struck out in 2 trips to the plate. Straight up. At the center fielder, Tucker, he's sprinting in. He got a late jump on that ball and is able to get to it. Second out of the inning. So the Reds get a run here. Still batting in the 7th inning. Now a 3-run lead. Shogo 0 for 3, but made a spectacular play to end the top of this 7th inning out in left field after Nate Jones had come on to replace Sonny Gray. First batter Jones faced Stallings. Just smoked one into left field, and Shogo leaping into the air a couple of steps from the wall hauled it in. Nothing and one to Akiyama. And that's a base hit off the glove of the shortstop. Tucker making the turn, slams on the brakes, and goes back into second base. So that's a third hit in the inning here for the Reds. Shogo his first of the night. And now a chance for Castellanos with 2 on and 2 out. Hitless on the night. That'll back up Tucker to the track, to the wall, and he tries to get it. Goodbye. That ball continued to carry. Tucker kept backing up on it. And Castellanos, a 3-run big fly to break this one wide open.
You keep running them out there, slump or hot or slump. You just got to give Castellanos plenty of at-bats because he's going to run into a slider hanging up there every once in a while. And when he's hot, he does it a lot. Boy, good effort by the center fielder Tucker, but a 3-run big fly.
I can't believe that ball left the yard.
It really carries, huh?
I just cannot believe it. We sit here and watch, and look, everybody can get fooled on how hard balls are hit.
Well, now you know why, though, that you know, the Reds have a philosophy when it comes to developing pitching, is that they need guys who miss bats. Because if you make contact with a bat, anything in this ballpark has got a chance.
I just can't believe. And maybe Castellanos will say after the game, I knew when it left the bat that I hit it well. Don't know about getting out of here, but there can't be 2 other ballparks, maybe not even that.
Yeah.
Where that ball's not caught well in front of the warning track. And by the way, Castellanos now has 14 extra base hits. It's the most by a Reds batter through a team's first 20 games since Adam Dunn in 2005 had, 15. We are told that ball would have been out of 5 different ballparks in Major League Baseball.
Well, I'm glad this is one of them.
So is Nick Castellanos. So the 8 home runs for Castellanos now ties him with Tatis and Mike Trout. Aaron Judge at 9. Votto is 1 of 3, a strikeout, a double, and a strikeout. 2 balls and a strike. Joey not so sure about that one, thought it was low. Tyler Thornburg just brought up, we told you earlier, was brought up from the alternate facility at Prasco Park. And we might see him make his Cincinnati Reds debut here tonight. Did you see him much in Arizona, Chris? There was a lot of talk about the Reds bringing him in during the offseason.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk about him. I don't know what happened to him. He kind of got buried maybe in the numbers. There's so many different players, and of course when spring training shut down,
Thornburg has made 10 career starts and 175 relief appearances for both the Brewers and the Boston Red Sox. On the ground and off the glove of a diving Kevin Newman. That'll be a second hit tonight for Joey Votto. Hit them where they ain't.
well, after being late on a couple of fastballs, he gets out ahead one right here and just finds a little slot there in the defense. Boy, Newman's been all over the place tonight.
And that's going to be all for Stratton. He has given up 5 hits. The Reds have scored 4 times and still batting. This young man will be making his major league debut. We'll tell you about him in a moment.
During tonight's game, Mike Hennigan from Hebron, Kentucky will win this brand new built in the USA Tundra on display at Great American Ballpark. Register to win by visiting your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. And with Jesse Winker coming to the plate, it might be in danger.
Good point. Well, you know the young man is quite nervous tonight being his major league debut, and that would be Brandon Waddell.
5th round pick of the Pittsburgh Pirates in 2015. They selected him out of University of Virginia. A starter in college and a starter through a lot of his minor league career. Last year he pitched in Indianapolis. That's the Pirates AAA ball club. 7 starts, 29 games overall.
And his first pitch in the big leagues to the hottest hitter in the big leagues is ball 1. Well, at this moment, Winker ranks 4th in all of Major League Baseball in batting average, 2nd in on base percentage in MLB, and 4th in slugging percentage. It's not too shabby. Been on base 3 times tonight.
You know, I know he's hit 2 home runs, an opposite field home run on a low fastball, a hanging breaking ball into right center field. But I would think that, you know, you ask him about his base on balls, that may be his best at bat. He got down 0-2 to a tough left-hander who had struck out the first 2 batters he faced. Ended up working a walk and laid off a couple of tough pitches too. Was down 0-2 in the count.
Reds leading 7-1. 3 balls and a strike. Winker, the 8th man to bat. Reds have 5 hits, all of them coming against Stratton.
Big swing by Winker there. He's trying to hit it up there where the mascots are sitting, which is up in the moon deck.
They've been moving around a lot tonight. Strike 3 called, and that'll end the inning. But the Reds come up with a 4 spot and lead 7-1. Drive-in in Amelia invites you to the premiere of the Marty Brennaman documentary, How We Lickin'. That's this Monday. A local, national celebrities, Reds legends. The Starlight Drive-in box office opens at 6. There's live music at 7. The premiere at 9, and there's a whole question and answer session that starts at 8. Proceeds benefit the Reds Community Fund. Visit StarlightDriveInOhio.com. It's going to be a fun night. Looking forward to it. Young man grew up outside of Atlanta, making his Reds debut. Pitched in only 16 games last year, and things did not go well for him in Boston in the last couple of years. At one time, he was his rock-solid reliever with Milwaukee and Tyler Thornburg.
Yeah, he was traded from Milwaukee in that Travis Shaw deal, which sent Shaw to Milwaukee and Thornburg to the Red Sox.
Guy's been around. We mentioned 185 games in his career 3.4 earned run average. He's allowed far fewer hits in innings pitched. He's averaged a strikeout per inning over his major league career. His best years were in 15 and 16 with the Brewers. And he has struck out. The first batter he faces is a Cincinnati Red, Adam Frazier.
That's a big old Uncle Charlie right there.
And every game the Reds pitchers strike out 11 batters. Seems like it's every night. Our friends at La Rosa's donate $1,000 to the Reds Community Fund to support its work improving the lives of children throughout Reds country, not just here in Cincinnati, but we mentioned earlier all over Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, West Virginia, Tennessee, Virginia. Breaking ball, another good one. 0-2 to Newman.
Liking that curveball.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Right center. Drifting is Senzel for out number 2. 8 pitches to get the first 2 outs here for Tyler Thornburg. Look, if you're any reliever with any competitive nature whatsoever, and you're sitting up there in Mason and working out every day at Prasco, and you're watching what has happened far too frequently with this Cincinnati Reds bullpen this year, you know, you're saying to yourself, man, if I could just get that chance, I think I can help that bullpen. And here Thornburg is getting his chance here tonight, and that is a wicked breaking ball right there.
You know, for the formula for Thornburg might be the same as it was for Sonny Gray, which is being reunited with his former pitching coach, Derek Johnson. Johnson had him in Milwaukee.
Well, everybody's ever had a chance to work with Derek Johnson, and they want to come back or get back around him. Nothing and 2 to Josh Bell, and now a ball and 2 strikes.
Interesting, really. He gives you a different type of weapon, Thornburg does. I'm not so sure there's another right-handed reliever down there with a big overhand curveball the way that Thornburg throws his breaking pitch.
Just blew him away at 95. Now that's an impressive inning. Tyler Thornburg, welcome to Reds country. All right, gentlemen. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Sam. Look forward to catching up with you guys after the ball game. Boy, what an impressive inning by Tyler Thornburg. There might have been as good, and I understand he comes into a 7-1 game, but there was not a more impressive one inning of work by anybody in that bullpen all year long than that guy just threw. One pitch, one out on Senzel. 1-2-3, couple of strikeouts, nasty breaking ball, 95-mile-an-hour heater.
You know, a lot of it is timing, Tom, as to when you get a player back. He was injured for a lot of his time when he was in Boston. And, you know, you get healthy again. He's got good pedigree. You reunite him with his old pitching coach. He feels good. You get him in a good slot in the pen where he feels like he can really contribute. That's a good start that he had. And he picked right up where Sonny Gray and Nate Jones left off.
One for three for Van Meter. He started that 4-run rally in the 7th with a hustling double into right center field. Now facing a left-hander, and as Chris mentioned earlier, we will see a southpaw get the start here tomorrow night. We've seen him a lot through the years. Stephen Brault, they'll use him as a starter, use him as a reliever. And there's strike 3 to Van Meter for the second out of the inning. And if you weren't with us in the 7th inning, this is Brandon Waddle's major league debut. He's retired 3 in a row with 2 strikeouts.
Pretty tidy so far.
Here's Freddie Galvis. Had an infield hit in the 4-run 7th inning. And that ball scalded down the left field line. It'll go to the wall. And a 2-hit night for Galvis. Okay, Galvis is starting to put together a pretty decent season. I mean, he's made some, mistakes in the field. Not many, but those numbers are starting to be pretty impressive for a guy who bats every night down in that 7, 8, 9 spot.
A lot of people were wondering why the Reds did not bring back Jose Iglesias. Had such a good year last year for the Reds. Terrific defensive shortstop. And, of course, they had picked up Galvis as well. And, they just thought that Galvis overall was going to be a much better offensive player with some home run power. And in this ballpark, that's the difference. I think Iglesias gets the nod when it comes to defense because he's a magician there.
Lined hard into right off the bat of Tucker Barnhart. And that'll be a run-scoring double for Tucker. And the Reds have tacked on another run. It's 8-1. 2-out action here.
Back-to-back good at-bats for Tucker. He got the ball in play last time. Drove a run in with a fielder's choice. That time a nice, smooth swing. And he lays it out there against the lefty. That's got to feel awfully good for Tucker.
Mm-hmm. So now Kyle Farmer's turn. Kyle 1 of 3 in the game. It's the first time all year long the Reds have had 10 or more hits in back-to-back games. Came up short last night. They actually out-hit the Pirates last night, 12-11. They lost the game 9-6. Waddell delivers, and it misses off the inside corner. 2 balls and no strikes on Farmer. Three and 0. Slow roller to the shortstop Newman, and out at first is Farmer, and out of the Reds in the 8th inning. They get doubles from Galvis and Barnhart to make it an 8-1 game.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cincinnati Reds. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds.
Well, get ready for Reds action 30 minutes before the start of every game on Fox Sports Ohio. We call it Reds Live, presented by Ray St. Clair Roofing, and yet another different starting time tomorrow. We've had a different start time every game in this homestand. And tomorrow, 6:10, so Reds Live begins at 5:30. Tyler Thornburg going to get a second inning after a 1-2-3 eighth. So 5:30 Reds Live. Game coverage begins at 6. Trevor Bauer got a couple of extra days rest since his last start. 2-0, ERA under 1. And he'll be opposed by the left-hander Steven Brault. Without a win, without a loss, earned run average over 5 early this year. And then Sunday, 1:10, Reds Live at 12:30. Luis Castillo, believe it or not, still looking for win number 1 this season. And he'll be opposed by Derek Holland, another left-hander for the Pirates. Pirates have not won back-to-back games this entire year. The Reds' longest winning streak is 3. They've only had one other streak of 2. Two and 2 on Colin Moran. Breaking ball, strike 3 called, paints the inside corner for Thornburg. He's faced 4 batters and struck out 3 of them.
Lock him up. Whoop. Well, look at the spin on that pitch. You talk about 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock.
Yeah, that's nice.
Strike one to Brian Reynolds. Reynolds accounted for the only Pirate run against Cincinnati pitching tonight when he clubbed a solo home run way back into right center against Sonny Gray in the 4th inning. Gray 2 outs away from going to 4-1 on the year. Here comes a 2-2 pitch. Unless there's some juggling going on in the Reds starting rotation, just looking ahead, you got 2 more here against the Pirates, but it would be what, Wade Miley and Anthony DeSclafani, the 2 games against Kansas City. So when you roll in to play the St. Louis Cardinals starting on Thursday night next week, it would be Sonny Gray, Trevor Bauer, and Luis Castillo for the first 3 games of that series against St. Louis.
Kind of reminds me of what Tony La Russa used to do all the time. He would make sure that when the Reds were coming into St. Louis, that his top 3 guys were in that rotation. He'd look ahead enough to know, maybe play a non-division team, and you're always facing the top dogs.
It seemed like all those years we saw Chris Carpenter, first game of the series every time he went in there. Boy, was he good. A lot of people forget about that guy. Boy, what a warrior Chris Carpenter was all those years for the St. Louis Cardinals. Here's a 3-2. Liner caught by Galvis. Right where they had him positioned. And the Pirates are down to their final out of the night.
Boy, another quick bat swing, though, by Brian Reynolds. He's going to be a good player.
Yes, he is. I'm with you all the way. And apparently Jim Day is going to reconvene with his old buddy. Hung him with a nickname a couple of years ago, DeWink. And Jesse will be joining Jim Day at the conclusion of our game 2 of this series momentarily. Told you about all those players that were looking up and waving at Jim and greeting him so warmly before the game from just outside the Reds dugout. Great interview he had a week ago with Joey. And I'm sure stick around. You won't want to miss Winker. Because if Joey is number 1 as far as you never knowing what they're going to say or whatever it might be when they get together with Jim Day, DeWink's right up there, number 2.
I'm going to hang around for it.
No question. 1-2. On the ground, short right field. Long throw, and they got him, and that's the old ball game. Tell you, Van Meter made some nice plays out there tonight. He did a good job, and this one belongs to the Reds. Tyler Thornburg, a perfect 2 innings of work with 3 strikeouts. So a combined 5-hit shutout by Sonny Gray. Nate Jones for 1 out. And 2 perfect frames, as we mentioned, from Tyler Thornburg, making his Cincinnati Reds debut here tonight.
The whole pace of the game, though, was set by Sonny Gray, the way he came out after it early on. 10 strikeouts for Gray in 6 2/3. So really good outing for Sonny Gray. Let's see that Trevor Bauer picks up right where Gray left off.
Indeed. So we'll wait for DeWink to come through the line, and Jim Day patiently waiting for him down there, already eyeing him out, no doubt. They let Jim come down a few rows to do those interviews. So he's down in the 5th row. And Jesse will make his way over to the headset once they make sure that thing's all cleaned off and disinfected. They got to do that all the time down there naturally these days. So give us a minute here while they get that headset to Jesse Winker. But Sonny Gray, I mean, that's what aces do. And he is the ace of the staff. I know that, you can make an argument on any given day that it could be, Bauer, could be Castillo. Great start until last night by DeSclafani. But, man, oh, man, when your team has lost a couple of games and you hand the ball to your number 1 guy, Sonny Gray did what you're supposed to do. And, all right, standing by with Jesse Winker is our very own JD, Jim Day.
Tom, thank you very much. Jesse, I don't know what you're eating for breakfast, but I want some of it. Safe to say you're seeing it very big right now.
You know what, Jim? I'm just going up there trying to compete, have a competitive at bat. It was an outstanding win tonight for our team. It was Sonny Gray did his thing. Nate Jones came in, and then Tyler Thornburg closed it out. There was a lot of great plays all around the field. Van Meter had a very nice play. Shogo had a huge play in left. It was a nice win for us.
Is this the hottest you've ever been at the plate in professional ball?
Jim, I don't know. I don't know. I just, like I said, I just want to go up there and have a competitive at bat, and just put good swings on the ball. Today they happened to get up and get out, but I just want to go up there and compete.
When you were 1 for 22, being the competitor that you are, how tough is that? And are you surprised at how far you've come in such a short amount of time?
Even though it's a 60-game season, it's still a marathon. I just want to go up there and grind out at bats. I try not to pay attention to results or what's going on externally. I just want to take care of how I prepare for the game and how I prepare on deck. And, I have Z and Joe Mather are 2 outstanding hitting coaches. I got a bunch of great guys that I learn from on a daily basis. So like I said, I just try to go up there and compete.
You are the king of the shower after the game, and I can't believe that no one has come down and got you right now. But you're safe, my friend.
I'm safe today. Thank you, Jim.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
That is Jesse Winker, red hot. Reds get a victory over the Pirates. Winker going deep, 8-1. Reds victory. We're back after this.